Thanksgiving's over, and it's time to put the book I started just before vacation together. And I'm kind of excited about it. It's kind of a cute little book. I did take a journal base from Claire Chevelle and turned it into more of a photo type album. And I've added an extra spine, so I have a spine on both sides. So it has a spine which is I think a 1/4 inch bigger on one side, and this spine which is, let's see, actually it's a whole inch bigger. So this is a double spine. This is 4 spines. Let's see. There we go. So we have 1, 2. I think I should have made the center a little smaller, but we'll just take a bone folder here. I put it over the score line, which is unusual for me. So I will add another strip here. I have a large strip here. And this has four spines, and this one has 2. But I think we might be adding a 3rd. We shall see. Now I'm going to start. I haven't made any of the decorations for the pockets yet, but I still have, in the 8x8, I still have a lot of little tags that I might use for the inside of the pockets. But what I did complete was I put plastic, I cut this picture into pieces, and I added acrylic for my 4x6 pages. They're 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I did that right before I left for holiday. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start by just placing that in the center. And I'm removing the backs of my double-sided tape. And I will add tacky glue to give me movability and nice and secure placement. Now my first card is actually over the back of this, of my waterfall. So I'm putting double tape there to make sure that has no movement. When I'm doing a photo album, I like to make sure the pages a lot of photos are going on are very secure. And it's easier to make the waterfall on a piece of card than to make it right in the book. Also helps you with any straightening that needs to be done. So I always start by getting my corners with the tacky glue. And I'm going to put a little bit extra glue right here on the magnetic tab that's going to hold my waterfall in place. And then I just go right over my double-sided tape and add a little bit in between. So this will have a lot of glue coverage. And then I just place it on. Now to smooth it out, I'm just going to open to the bottom. And there might be more decorations on this when I get done. But for right now, I just put the waterfall on. So between the pieces of waterfall, I'm just burnishing it a little bit. I also have double-sided tape, very skinny, 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape holding on my acrylic. And I might add a piece of card on that also. So there's the center part of my book. Probably it's really the key of my book. Now I'm going to go to this side and I'll show you what I made for it. I made one pocket page. It's going to have a whole piece of paper inside that comes in and out, and that will give you room for extra photos. And that's going to be the piece that covers my waterfall. And I have 2 score lines, and I'm going to attach this to the score line, the first score line. But then what I did was I made 3 different size pockets, all the same shape and coordinating colors, and they're going to line up here. And get the round part up. I did round my corners. I'm going to start from the back. Now I haven't made what's going in my back pockets yet. That's actually on my firm side, but I will probably make photo folders with acrylic for those also. So I'm just going to start at the back, that's over there, and put this page on first. Now because it has 2 seams, I put 2 pieces of double-sided tape on. If I did a single page, I would not put 2, I would just put 1. Let's see, I think I need some glasses on. Now I'm opening, this is the rounded part that goes on in the center of the book. The straight edge, I'm going to put a little bit of tacky tape right along the edge inside my opening. Then I close it, gently press, and that makes the glue. Let's see, I think I need a baby wipe here. I don't want overflow, so if I see any glue, I'm just going to wipe it off. So I have glue on both sides of my paper now, and I'm going to place it on the first fold. My first fold has the edges angled. I'm going all the way to the first score. Now when I lay that down, I want to make sure it's straight and that it covers the center of my book. When I get it where I want it, does that look straight? Maybe a little more. I'm going to burnish it. I'm using a silicone bone folder or tool. Doesn't need to be a silicone tool, but that helps on black paper not to make any marks on your black card. So there's my first page, which is my last page of this side. And now I'm going to go in descending order of these little teeny pockets. And I think that's going to be one of the fun parts of this album, is deciding what photos and what leftover paper I have will go inside those pockets. Claire designed a really cute journal book, but I do more pictures than journaling. And you can easily add journal pages or journal cards to this album, but I'm definitely more of a photo person. So I want to make sure I have lots of pockets that are big enough to hold photos or photo mats. So there will be one more video showing you what I do decide to make for inside all these pockets. So I put the glue on both sides by putting it on one and touching down a little. I go to my first score line. The second score line happens to be covered with paper because I should have made a skinnier paper. I make sure it lines up here. Once I have it lined up, burnish it so the glue adheres. You can go backwards and burnish both sides. So here is another pocket. This one's smaller. Let's see. Now I'll put this pretty butterfly and flower. Now remember, I rounded one side, so that makes it easy for me to know which side comes up or which side goes toward the center. I remove my covers. So really this is always the same technique no matter what size pocket I'm adding to the little spines I made. I chose not to have flaps that went downward, so it reads more like a book, like a photo book. So I just open it up, slide it to the first score, and then lay it down. Before I burnish it, make sure it lines up with the one in front of it. It looks lined up to me, so now I'll burnish it. Okay, one more little pocket. This is really a little pocket. This one might be good, let's see, open it up, for a long picture or a long journal card. Since I'm doing sort of my own design in this photo album, I have not figured out everything that's going inside yet. So the creative process is still churning in my brain. I might even choose the photos I'm using before I decide what's going in all these pockets. And even though there's a girl on the cover, the colors would probably go with boy or girl. So I might just make it a generic grandchild book, since I'm never at loss with pictures of my grandchildren. Make sure that lines up. Looks like this one's showing a little bit more down there. There. Now I might still add some strips on these black areas. Okay, so I have 3 little pockets, 1, 2, 3, a side pocket here, and then a giant pocket here, which will end up with a tab. Now while I was creating, I made a little fold out pocket, and I think I'm going to attach that here. There'd be room for a photo here and then something in the pocket. So I'm going to start with the bottom, and all I did was make 1 valley fold and 2 mountain folds, so the pocket can extend, because I have a good piece of area that can hold something fat, maybe even a little booklet. A journal booklet, maybe, we shall see. So I'm just securing that, and then I'm taking, let's see, the covers of my adhesive off here. I seem to have trouble all the time with the covers of my adhesive. The adhesive sticks so well, it's hard to get the cover off. There we go. And because this might hold a little teeny book, I'll make sure I add tacky glue also. And I'm just folding those folds down to make this straight. And I see some glue that oozed out there. So I'm just going to touch it with a baby wipe and get that off. There we go. So this side is now ready to have the pockets filled. Let's move to the other side, which is a little bit smaller. Okay. Now I made 1 big pocket page here. I would like a pocket page, let's see, I would like a pocket page to go over this. This will actually cover the whole side. And I made 2 pocket pages. That's all I was going to do. 2 pocket pages. But there was quite a bit of room here. So let's see if I can find it. I decided maybe I'd add one more little flap. Of course, where did I put it? Here it is. I thought I would add just a single double fold. And I put it right in the middle. So this is going to be very flat, but it's going to go close to this side. That's what I decided. So I have some double-sided tape on the back. It's just a 1/2 inch scored, 1/2 inch scored, 1/2 inch cut. So it's a 1.5 inch strip of paper, of card, angled at the ends and scored at 1 inch and 1/2 inch. And I'm putting it on, even with color on the back of it, in the middle of this skinnier spine. And this is the first time I've made something so close. Now I gotta decide which direction I want it. I think I'll put it close to this one. That's, no, I can't. It's gotta be upright. All right, I'm putting it right in the center. Now I'm going to see if this fits on it. Looks like I made it too long. So I'm going to have to cut off a little edge here. There we go. Now, in doing that, I exposed a little bit of white. So I add some ink to the edge and a little bit of ink right there over the part I exposed. I think it's just tape. Okay. So on this side, I took a cream colored paper that had the same dark as this pocket page here. And that's going to be my back page. And I'm not worried about it lining up on the other side because it'll probably be split. So I'm going to just line it up at the back. I don't know why, but when you're putting on signatures or pocket pages, it seems a good idea to start from the back, and then you know that if that one's straight, the others will be straight. So my original design of this was only 2 pages, but I added one more little teeny pocket. So I open the pocket, take my tacky glue, make a line near the edge, now these side pages are a little bit smaller than the other side because this is 3/8 smaller than the other part of the folio. So now I'm just putting this on to the first score line inside the pocket there. And making sure it's straight with the bottom. Looks good. Then I can burnish it. Flip it over, burnish it. Remove, I add a little bit heavy-handed on the glue there. So make sure that comes off. Okay. I'm not going to put this baby one on yet. I'm going to put this big page because the big pages are more important for fitting. Now what I did was I lined this one up and I left a small area here under the black card for a thin pocket because I'm thinking of making different size graphic 45 tags. That's part of my thinking process. So I wanted to make sure there was room to add some tags. Might just be the ATC size for this small one, we'll see. But the only thing I know for sure is there will be photo mats and some tags. We'll see what else we design. So like the other pocket pages, big pocket pages, I open it up from the inside, put a line of tacky glue, whatever glue you like actually, rub it so it's on both sides, open it back up, and lay it over to the first score line. And make sure it lines up with the one behind it. Looks like it does. Lay it flat, looks straight. After you know it's straight, you can burnish it. If you just used the double-sided tape and it wasn't straight, it might stick faster than you want it to stick. Okay. Now I'll put this little baby pocket on. Then I'm going to add a decoration on this one. In a way, this skinny one here makes more sense because I did another concertina or whatever you want to call it, this little pop-up page for a small tag, and that does have a little bit of thickness. So I'm removing my covers again. Taking the tacky glue, opening the small pocket, running along the inside edge. Now I made these pockets with the black construction tape on the edge, so the pocket is the full length. Now the glue on the bottom does take up almost a 1/4 inch by the time you get it onto this 1/2 inch score, but it still gives you not something that can be nice and long if you want it, or double. So it's to the first score line there. And my hands are getting sticky, so I've got a little bit of glue on my black. The glue will dry clear, but it's best to wipe it off while it's wet. So now I have a pocket here, mini pocket here. These are giant pockets that'll have a little tab. Let's add one more baby pocket. And still having trouble removing my double-sided tape. Just going to do one on the bottom first. This one I made a little thicker even. I think this, instead of 1.5 inch piece, this is a 2-inch piece. And I really like the sayings on the tag page. This just says, enjoy the little things. Now this is made for Paris pastries. And I'm not going to Paris anytime soon. My grandchildren haven't gone to Paris, but I thought the colors were pretty, and everyone likes sweets. I think everyone likes sweets. I sure do. So I thought it would go with whatever pictures I chose. Almost every time I make an album, I know what photos are going in. And with this album, I just did it because I like the cute box that Claire designed. And I haven't decided what's going in it yet. Okay, after this little pocket, that'll be all for today. And hopefully, I only have 2 weeks of friendship left. Hopefully I'll make the decorations inside to give you ideas of what you can put into your albums. I'll hold that a little bit because it's got the thickness of the folded card there. There we go. So we'll use this page to make some more decorations and add those later. And we might make some folders of the leftovers. So these are my pages. We have a waterfall in the middle, little pockets here, and then small, medium, large pockets here. And I'll be adding some strips for decoration, and I'll be adding some fun tags in there. And this side, we just have a small pocket there, very mini pocket there, and a duplicate there. So that is my album. When I come next to show you the tags, I will also decorate the spines. They're not decorated yet. And I might consider making one of the big folios that Claire did too. I like that. And if I have enough leftover paper, I will. Have fun designing your folio, whether it be a journal or whether it be a photo book. God bless.